Hey guys, welcome to week 6 of our Battle Strong series. Again, we've been going through the armor of God from Ephesians 6:10 through 18. So far, we've looked at the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, and today we're going to look at the third piece of the armor, which are the shoes. So from Ephesians 6:15, it says, "And as shoes for your feet, having put on the readiness given by the gospel." So Paul makes it pretty clear that we need good shoes for battle, right? I mean, the Roman soldiers back then, they wore sandals. But they weren't just any old pair of sandals. They were actually very thick and they had spikes on the bottom. This was to keep them from falling and to help them stay grounded as they fought, as Paul would say, to stand firm. I think nowadays, most of us would agree that our shoes are actually very important to how we perform throughout the day. Even soldiers nowadays, they would ask for foot powder, good socks, and good shoes. I still remember when I first moved here in Arizona back in the summer of 2016. Me and my friends, we decided to go check out the Grand Canyon. When we arrived at the South Rim, we noticed that off in the distance, there was a plateau which overlooked the Colorado River. Next thing you know, we're hiking down this canyon. I mean, the hike itself was phenomenal. It was beautiful. We even met a nice old man who actually told us that we wouldn't make it. And he warned us that we should turn back. So we thanked him for his kind words and we advanced forward. 12 miles later, we arrived at our destination. I was taken back. I mean, the Colorado River gushing through the canyon, it was all but worth the journey. Soon enough, we decided we needed to head back. So about halfway through our hike back, we noticed that the clouds were starting to fill the sky. We noticed that lightning was starting to flash. And we started to hear thunder in the background. And then down came the pouring rain, the cold pouring rain. And at this point, all our phones were dead, except one. So we used this as our only light source to trek up the canyon. And as we figured things cannot get any worse than this, my friend cramps up, so we slow down. And then my sister cramps up, so we slow down. And then our group gets separated. And then, bam, a sharp pain shoots right up my foot and radiates throughout my body. But you know, I'm a man, so I'll go ahead and try to push through, right? I go ahead and take 2 more steps, and I collapse. The pain was too much. And I looked down and I realized that my foot had actually been pierced. It had been pierced by a thorn right through my flip-flops, right through these flip-flops. So moral of the story is, if you're going to hike the Grand Canyon, please have the right pair of shoes on. So if we can see how important it is to hike the Grand Canyon with the right shoes, it makes sense that Paul tells us to have on the right spiritual shoes for our battle, right? But not just any pair of shoes. The shoes of the gospel of peace. So the question is, what are the shoes of the gospel of peace? Well, the gospel, that is the story of Jesus. The fact that he came down and died on the cross so that through him we may have life and have peace. And now Paul instructs us to put on these shoes for our battle. First, so that we may know the gospel for ourselves. And then secondly, that we would take this gospel and share it. Paul also writes in Romans 10:15, and he actually takes this from the prophet Isaiah, and he says, "Oh, how beautiful are the feet of those who preach the good news." Thank you for tuning in today. I'll catch you guys next week.